Welcome to Lunch Break in my kitchen today. I'm ready to have my lunch, but before we have our lunch, let's just take a quick pause. In difficult times, most people pray. Most people talk to God. That's what prayer is. But the point of prayer is not to have just a quick surface conversation with God. It's not a hit and run. The point of prayer is to connect with God, to lean into Him and tell Him exactly how you feel. Prayer isn't a litany of asks and just meaningless phrases. That's how I grew up. But now, when I pray, when I talk to God, I make a connection with Him. And that's what I want to encourage you to do today. He knows what's going on down here. He just wants to hear how you feel about what's going on down here, how it's affecting you. There's somebody in the Bible that demonstrated prayer in a great way, and that's David in the Psalms. And the way that he prayed was honest, it was authentic, and he was vulnerable. And I think when we're vulnerable with God, we really open ourselves up to God, open our heart up to God. We open our ears up to hear what He is saying. So let's look at Psalm 23 and see how David talked with God. Verse 4 and 5 we're going to look at today. So verse 4, he says, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will not fear, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me." He's telling it like it is. He's being honest and real. Even though I'm freaked out, it's dark down here. I don't know what's going on. I'm really having a difficult time. I'm not going to fear because I know that you're with me. And I remind myself that your rod and your staff comfort me. Jesus is our shepherd. And if you're within arm's reach of the rod and the staff, there's no social distancing. He used the staff to pull his sheep close to himself. And he used the rod to ward off and fend off the enemy. And that brings us comfort. So look at verse 5. He says, "I've prepared a table for you." I'm inviting you to lunch today, Jesus says. Anytime you want, I'm inviting you to the table. I prepared a table before you in the presence of your enemies. So imagine this. You're surrounded by your enemies and you're sitting down to the table with Jesus. Your enemies have to watch you enjoying being fed and being nourished. Now, who is your enemy today? Is your enemy fear? Is your enemy worry? Is your enemy frustration? Is your enemy anger over the situation? Is your enemy impatience, stressed out? Is your enemy fear and worry over finances? What is your enemy today? Because they're surrounding you, but you are ignoring them for now and leaning in to having lunch with the lover of your soul, the one that takes care of you, the one that will never leave you or forget about you. So I'm going to pray for you for just a minute, and then I have a challenge for you. God, I pray that everyone that is earshot, that you would overtake them with your presence, that they would be still and hear your voice, that they would connect with you and walk with you for the rest of the day and these weeks ahead, because you'll never leave us or forget about us. So we enjoy your presence. We take a pause and enjoy that you are in control. You are King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and that will never change. And now I challenge you to invite someone else into the table. Extend this table. Spread out a tablecloth, so to speak. And if you're a senior, pray for seniors. If you're a student, Pray for students. You know just how they're feeling right now. You are representing someone in our community right now. If you're a small businessman concerned about the future, pray for other small businessmen. If you're a mom at home overwhelmed, trying to be a teacher and a parent at the same time, you know how that feels. Pray for other moms right now in the same situation. Invite them into this table. And one last thing, when you get up from the table, which you're invited to come back anytime, when you get up from the table, don't feed your enemies. Okay. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the food you're going to experience right now with the Lord. Keep that connection going, and I'll see you next Friday.